I don't know what to say about this place because everything is just so awesome here. I notice how much I've improved and how I can hold a conversation with my parents without getting upset, irritated, mad, annoyed. And like I see on my parents' side, they're opening their opinions and saying, well, what do you want to do? Instead of, let's go do this. And it's changed a lot. Honestly, it's like out of my norm to see my parents react, like the ways I didn't even think they could possibly do, to be honest, at some points in my life. But the therapists here are just very motivating. Like family, like family is everything. And I actually realize that now. Family is a core of you, and you would probably not be where you are without your family.
It's this leap of faith, and for us, we lived far away. Sending our daughter all the way across the country, we wouldn't be there. These are very big concerns, and then we're in a crisis, and then we've got this attachment thing. It was overwhelming.
But this facility has wonderful counselors that have been able to get in there and kind of educate both of us, not just Piper, but mom and dad, to the point of this is something that's kind of, it's way out there. It's not something that's an obvious fix. So you really have to kind of work at it for a while, and it's nobody's fault. I mean, it's not something that we've done or that she's done. It's just something that you have to work your way through, and this facility has just done wonderful with that. I mean, it did not take long. Like we said, probably in 3 weeks, we started noticing big communications differences, and instead of sitting there looking at a blank wall, we're actually looking at somebody who's talking back to us and telling us what they're learning and about the facility. So I think if I was another parent looking for a place to go, this would be a wonderful pick.
Our therapist was able to target the root of what the problem was. And that's why I think we saw results so quickly. It was like, okay, all this other stuff is surface. We're going straight to the root. And once we firmed that foundation, then we can work on the other stuff outside of a residential setting. But we needed that connection repaired.
I used to say to my parents when I'm mad, I hate you. I can't wait till I turn 18 and move out. And then my parents would come back and be like, well, you're not leaving when you're 18. And I would be like, no fair. And I'd go up to my room, sulk and cry. But now I think back at it and I'm just like, I'm so lucky to have them.
Oh.
And being adopted, it's like I don't know what's happening. When I was young, I just didn't know what was happening. And I just see these two obviously not from China, come in and looking around, and then probably me, my gaze, I don't even remember. But you saw me and you're like, Piper, that's the one I want. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I was lucky to be picked. And it's like my whole life changed. Like the future changed when I moved out of China and came to America. And if I knew that my parents would have stayed with me through the tough times when I was younger, I would have made it less tough. But now knowing it.
Now she tells us.
Now I tell you guys when I'm leaving the nest. But it's just like, it's just crazy.
I think the interesting thing about this part of the conversation is that the biggest issue we have is a reactive attachment. And it's, I refer to it as every adoptive parent's worst nightmare. Yet, you've been here for a couple of months and
Crying on an interview.